Do you collect leads? Are you out there with lots of free gifts, offering something exciting to people just so that they sign up and you have a big, long list of potential clients, potential customers? That's what I'm going to talk about today. Sigrid de Cast here, book writing, publishing, and marketing specialist. And I specifically work with women in business to write their book so that they can really elevate their leadership, their authority status, their brand. And today, the topic, to or not to collect leads, is something that's come to me during the past few days out there. There is not exactly controversy around that, but very different opinions. Now, from a marketing perspective, generally speaking, we say collect leads. You do need to attract people to you, and then when they are on your list, you can contact them continuously because they've agreed to that by registering with their name and email address. Now, let me just be very clear to start. Most of you, if not everybody, knows what lead generation is and how this works, but I will go through that for the purpose of those who may not know the finer details. Lead capture, lead generation, opt-in, lead magnets, whatever you call it, however you know it, under whatever name, it is all the same principle. And that is, you have a business, you have something to offer. And in my case, of course, that is books, helping you write a book. You have a book to offer. You want to attract people to you who are interested in what you have to offer. And a great way, of course, is when those people come onto a list and you can email them. And the way that is generally done is you come up with some free gift. Now, often in the area of a book, what used to happen, and I still see this happen, that people give away a chapter or part of a chapter of their book for people to sign up to get to know what's in the book and the style of the writer, perhaps. And then once they're on the list and they've looked at that chapter, that they then get nurtured through emails and invitations and so on to perhaps come and work with this author of the book in whatever the capacity is that they offer, programs, products, or coaching, for example. Now, of course, this happens all across the board. This happens very much for products. If you offer products, you might give samples, you might give information about the product, you might lead people to a video or a series of videos free, just so that they put their name and their email address into the box that you create, onto the page that you create, and they are on your list. Now, it is a very powerful way to bring people on such a list. But here's what I question, and I want you to really consider for yourself, whatever it is you are doing at this point in time. First of all, you create a list like that. You really want to make sure that you then consistently nurture this list. And by that, I mean you consistently send out emails, invitations, other videos, and so on, so that you don't just bring them on there, you leave them cold for months, and then you start, and then you stop again. That is not the best way and rarely works. So decide if you want to create something that people need to sign up to get, that you then will have in place a regular nurture program for those people. That's number one. Number two is, what exactly is it that people would like from you that you can give them for free to get to know you, to get to know your programs, to get to know what you offer? And this is a very big, important area. There are loads and loads of lead magnets, lead capture options out there. I just signed up to one this morning, for example. Did it attract me? Yes, there was something in that I'd like to know more about. Is it something that I will take up professionally, the services that they offer? No, not very likely. I'm just interested in the information that they're offering in this scenario for free. And this is something for you very important to consider. You can create a list of thousands and thousands of people signing up to something, and you can keep nurturing them. And yes, maybe down the track, they may be interested and buy something for you. But there are a number of hurdles to that. Number one is what I just said. I'm interested in the information, but not to work with those people that I've signed up to this morning. Number two, you want to consider that, and I've just lost my thought completely. This happens when you do a live like this, a video like this, and you haven't made any notes for yourself. So number two on this is that the offer that you give away, you want to know, are the people coming on this coming purely because it's free? So they are never going to buy anything anyway. And is it worth having a list of thousands of people that you nurture and they're never actually going to be a client of yours? And that in itself already opens the question, yeah, well, maybe, maybe not. It depends entirely on your specific business and what you offer. So in some cases, yes, it's absolutely worth your while to have thousands of people on a list that you nurture. It depends on what your offer is. So let me use two examples here. And I'm going to make a note so I don't lose my thought again. There are two areas. When I used to be in the jewelry industry, when I had my diamond jewelry store, for example, that was the very early days when this online only just started. What was useful there was to put out information online for people to subscribe to or to sign up to around, let's say, stones, diamonds, colored gemstones, value, and so on. So we had a whole long list of information to send out to people who were interested in knowing more. Would those people be interested in purchasing from us? Very likely in that business, because in those days was a lot less information available. And a lot of people wanted to have their jewelry custom designed and made. And so it was very useful for them to get to know who we were, what we do, all of our expertise on stones and making jewelry. So it's very, very powerful and useful for us in those days to collect a list of people onto email, to email them out. Now, in the book writing area, if you have a book or you're thinking about writing a book, in the program that I offer, for example, you and I are going to dig really deep into this topic. Is a list something you need? Do you want to create it? And we would look at, are you going to create it with your book itself? Is your book of a topic and value to people to buy it? Or are you going to give away some part of it? Or are you going to use a completely different gift-free offer? Maybe a video or a little series of videos so that people sign up, they come onto your list, you nurture them, and eventually they come to you, whatever your book topic is about or whatever your expertise is. So the key here, in my experience and from the knowledge that I have around marketing and lead generation, the key is to know the people you want to attract. Will they come because they really want that information that you offer? Or will they come just to get a freebie? Yes, you can still have them on your list. And yes, maybe in 2-3 years' time, they will buy something. But then you have to consider, will you still be doing the same thing in 2 or 3 years' time? And you have to consider, is it really useful to have a big list for which obviously you have to find topics to send out to? So these are all deeper considerations that I find hugely important to know before you set out. I have had an experience last year, for example, where I was asked to create a whole range of lead magnets or free offers to be sent out for people to sign up to, so that I could then bring them on my list and nurture them and invite them to events. Now, at some point in time in the past, that scenario worked very well for me in other businesses I had. It did not work last year in that way. I was creating one opt-in or lead magnet after another. And even though individually they were powerful, but they were very specific to certain people who want what I offer now. And not all of those were really the people right for the program that I offer. So key understanding here that I want to leave you with, and I know I'm not looking if there's anyone actually there. This video will go out and you can watch it at any point in time, and I very much welcome your comments on this and your idea. And if you're working in this field of lead generation for other people, please leave your comment and describe why you think yes or no. What is important in creating leads, bringing people onto your list to nurture them. My experience has been both good, that it works really well, not so good that nobody actually signed up for certain ones, even though they were talking about what I was offering. So both can work well. Let me go back to the key about this is you really want to look at who is it you want to attract, what do they really want, and when they come onto a list, will they stay on your list, and will you be able to give them information for them to come to you? Just being on the list for no real reason, I guess it's okay, but it doesn't really make sense to have lots of, or have a big list of people, and you just have to keep nurturing. Anyway, that is what I wanted to share in this video with you today. I welcome your comments on this, and have a wonderful day. Signing off, Sigrid de Cast, book writing, publishing, and marketing specialist for people who want to write a book to elevate their leadership and their authority status, to brand themselves and their business.